Everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hey, you guys. How you doing? Hey, Doc. Hey, Deb. Counting down. Hey, Meg. Hey, Shona. Hey, Twizzy. Hey, Ro. Hey, Melissa. Hey, LA. Hey, I've got something to say. Hey, Yasmin. Hey, JB. Hey, Tracy. I have not watched this yet, you guys. I saw it earlier and I was like, oh, we're going to watch this together. Hey, Glenna. Hi, Jonah. Hey, Kaleidohope. Hey, Ellie. Hey, Yazella. I love avocados. I've seen that. I mean, I'm not trying to laugh. That's crazy. I've dealt with like one earthquake in my life. But yeah, I've seen that y'all been getting hit with them. That's nuts. Chocolate chip. Those are so good. We got we went woohoo shopping at my favorite place ever, Kroger, and they had turtle pecan caramel cookies on sale that were like that big around, and they were on sale for like $3 for 6 of them. They're already gone. We only had them for like 2 days. Hey, Jen and James. Hey, Jackie. Is it Jackie or Jakey? You need to tell me because I want to know. I really want to know. Hey, Falcon. Hey, Hollyberry. Hey, Tonka. Hey, Evie Marie. Glenna. Yeah, I am anxious to see if they say anything interesting because, like, I know they're not supposed to and they really don't know too much, right? But they do give certain little nuggets sometimes. Hey, Tracy. Yeah, I didn't know that they'd even done an interview, honestly. I was watching Pascal go over an interview that Seth Rogers just did with the Vinny guy from Court TV, and I went on Facebook to try to find the link for it because there was nothing on their YouTube page, and then I ran across the Goncalveses posted this on their Facebook page, and it just so happened to be, I think my camera stick is like touching my desk. It just so happens to be like the same day, I think it was. Like, I think it was last night. Yeah. I washed it out. It is pronounced Jackie. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Hey, T Hoppy. Hey, Lemon. People just making chocolate chip cookies everywhere, huh? Hey, Sassy Patriot. Pretty positive yesterday. Let me see. I'm gonna look real quick. Yeah, 8.5. I'll show you the page. No. So that's a common misconception because there is an active gag order and because the family has gone in and tried to have the gag order reversed, but the family themselves are no, they're not under a gag order. Now their attorney is under a gag order. Shanon is under a gag order and he's in this interview. But the Goncalves is no. Hey, Corinne. Hey, T.H. Meyer. Yeah, family's not gagged. Yeah, the families are not gagged. Yeah, like they don't really know. I feel like they know whatever they've been going out and looking for, which has been a whole bunch of misinformation because they're getting all their information from basically all of these people out here on social media, right? And they've admitted 1,000 times that they really just don't know anything else more than what we know. I mean, they've all kind of like anytime that they've all come out and like said anything, that's what they've said is y'all know what we know. And I believe that honestly. Because I don't think that Steve would be out here like as hard as he's been out here if he had any clue whatsoever. And I think that he's holding on to the Bryan thing because he needs it to be Bryan. Yeah, that part. They've kept a bunch of lies going. Like, I don't see how he can sit here, Steve, especially, how he can sit here and like hound so hard on Bryan Kohberger and make up all of these things about how he thinks that it was because Bryan was jealous of Kaylee and Maddie and like all these own like personal theories, but then sit there and tell Andrew D. Myers, oh yeah, up to this date, they can't find an actual connection. They're having a hard time placing Bryan anywhere. They have a hard time connecting to Bryan. Like this coming out of your own face. Hey, Andy's girl. Hey, Miss Your Girl. Hey, Colder Covered. Hope I didn't miss anybody. I'm like talking and then not looking at the same time. So I don't know. Yeah, she seems to be pretty adamant that it's Bryan, but she also doesn't know a lot of stuff. So I don't know. I think, like I said, I think that they're desperate for an answer, even if it's not the answer. Which I mean, I get, but you're also putting somebody else's life at risk. And if that person is truly innocent, like how are you going to feel if your rhetoric that you're pushing it, is a false rhetoric? What if that actually ends up putting this person on death row because you pushed it so much? I mean, I don't think that would happen, but I mean, we've seen people put on death row for with false information. I just don't get it. And see, like the jealousy thing, like the reason why he's saying that is for why? Like everything that we've sort of heard, I mean, like, look, we went over the interview of the Cassie girl. She's like grinning in her soul when she's talking about Bryan and his sweaters, okay? And then we hear from like and Bree, I went back through and I listened and I clipped some of the things that Bree said whenever the turkey guys talked to the Bree girl who knows Bryan. And even then, she was like, she really had nothing bad to say. Like people who are like actually intertwined in his life, like beyond, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like they like he would be jealous of what, like just like the whole like they're trying to say he's an incel thing, but then they're turning around and telling us that at the pool party he was at that he's getting girls' numbers left and right. Like how can you be an incel but then you're able to like actually land a number? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I was just wanted to get some stuff out today. Like the gypsy video I posted earlier, that was just because of something I heard that caught my attention, and then I definitely wanted to get the information out about Caleb. So, yeah, jealousy is very, very, very cliche. It is. It is weak because that's literally making it seem as if once again Kaylee and Maddie are like the star, and there's nothing to determine that. There's nothing to determine that. I don't. It's just so crazy. It's ridiculous. Okay. So this looks like it was posted yesterday. Let me go here and fix this because for some reason I always have to end up changing this around and I don't know why in the world that has two people on there. 1 second. Let me fix this. Okay, I guess that'll be good for now. Let me switch my microphone over. But yeah, where does it show it? Yeah, look right here, 85. Ah, I don't want it to do any of that. What did I just click on? Hold on. I gotta fix this real quick. Okay, there it goes. 1 sec. Okay. I should have just started with this one so that I didn't have to switch everything out. Okay, now, like I said, I don't know. Yep, that was me. That was me. He brought some of my comments up on the screen. I get really aggravated about the Sebastian Rogers case. Like, I understand why people focus so much on Chris Proudfoot because he like truly is like a douche face, right? Like, I get it. But, I mean, as far as we are supposed to believe, Katie was the one there. And I also, like, there's no answers after all this time. There's no direction. There's no anything. So, like, anytime I see anybody talking about Sebastian and I know that it's somebody decently reputable, I try to, like, get in and pay attention to the conversation. But that one took off like it crazy as fast as it possibly could. Okay, here we go. Now, I have not watched this. I don't know if they drop any little nuggy thingies or not, but I just figured we would just all watch it together because I have not seen it. So, let's go.
Let me bring in our special guests, the mother and father of Kaylee Goncalves, Steve and Kristi Goncalves are with us, as well as the attorney representing the family, Shanon Gray. Thank you all so much for being here. I know this is never easy, but I think the nation has seen the strength of your family, Kristi and Steve. And as you sit here tonight, what is justice for you? What is justice?
That's a hard question that we've thought a lot about. Sometimes I feel that there is no justice. Nothing's going to bring the kids back. And therefore, the only thing that would be justice for me is for this person to be living in agony in the depths of hell.
So, imaginary justice? Imaginary justice? And you know who she means by this person. Like, she can just... Yeah, she looks like she belongs in Greece. I mean, it's kind of cute on her, though. The messy bun. I don't want to hate on them like that, like too much. Like, I know what she's is trying to do. It's just the way that they are about this whole thing. This gets on my nerves. Like, she's sitting next to her husband, who literally just told an attorney that the state of Idaho is having issues connecting this to Bryan, and they can still just sit here and spew stuff that we know damn well that they're aiming at Bryan, knowing the facts. That's what floors me so much about the Goncalveses.
I know that there's a lot of families who don't actually get somebody that is actually charged for it. So I do feel that we are lucky in that standpoint. And a lot of detectives and investigators put in a lot of hard work, and we're lucky to have that, and we want to be appreciative for that. It's a long, slow process, but we're willing and we're ready to do that. We're ready to put in the time and the effort and get through this, and to show people that this is the way that we can see justice in action, see the truth being taken in place.
Again, guys, he literally just told an attorney that the state was having issues connecting this to Bryan. Like, that was recent. That was when Andrew D. Myers was interviewing Howard Bloom. That was literally like, what, a month and a half ago? Probably more like maybe like 2 months. Time is going by really, really quick. And I know that video played out for like a little bit before I even did a thing about the bomb situation. So Steve Goncalves can sit here knowing damn well that we all saw the letter that he wrote to the attorney claiming that. And then still state, oh yeah, we're ready for the long haul. We're ready to do this. We're ready for justice. Are you asking the right questions to literally anyone? And I know somebody made a comment earlier that it looks like she's doing Ozempic. She doesn't look any different, but Steve does not look healthy. just watch Steve. He does not look good.
And then the right outcome, and society gets back to normal.
Shannon, this
Normal.
is
Come on.
a difficult journey.
And the right outcome. Okay, the right outcome. I really wish that he would just say one thing that made me believe that his brain was actively working. He does. He either looks tired and ran down, or he looks sick. He looks like super worn out.
An absolutely difficult journey. That's why I'm so glad that you are there to help this family through this. What is your take so far on how our system of justice is doing?
Help the family through it? You mean help them try to get in parts of a movie deal? Because remember, Howard Bloom said Shannon Gray approached him about the Goncalves being part of the movies. Let's not forget that.
In this case?
It's a tough question because, it's a small jurisdiction. Working on a much larger jurisdiction where things move a lot faster. You think things are going to move a certain way, and sometimes they don't. So it's been difficult for the family because a lot of times I'll say this is how A, B, and C should happen, and they don't happen that way. I have to explain why it didn't happen, and why it's taken so long, or it's taken longer than usual, or why the prosecution or the defense have done things that they've done. But I'm small compared to what Steve and Kristi go through every day. I'm just thankful that they found me, that I can help them and answer any questions I can about them, and ease their minds when their minds need to be eased about the criminal justice process and what's going on. I mean, they're always going to be a part of my life, and I love them to death. So,
Kristi, what are the plans for the trial when it happens?
Now, keep in mind that the Goncalves, I get it, right? Like, I have questions, and I don't like how they act either. But I do understand their concern about the change of venue, because what we really want, we want the families to be there. We want the families, definitely, especially guys, the Goncalves, to be in that courtroom every single day listening to the actual facts. Because right now, just what we understand, this doesn't make any sense. Now, granted, we could get the facts and all of our minds could instantly flip. That's just the truth of it. The facts, the things that we are not being told, that could change our opinion. It could. But the Goncalves need to know the truth more than anything. All the families do, but especially the Goncalves, because they're the ones out here making themselves the face of this case, right? If it moves like far away and it's hours and hours and hours, I understand why the Goncalves are upset about where they want to move it to. I understand that. They have every right to be upset if it's convenient for them now, but then it ends up being so far away to where they're going to have to basically live somewhere else for 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, I understand their frustrations. They have every right to be upset. But Bryan also has every right to a fair trial. And if they weren't out here pushing such horrible rhetoric and horrible narratives and horrible theories and getting with all of these TikTokers and YouTubers and spreading all these lies, then maybe we wouldn't even need to do this right now. Maybe we wouldn't even have to change the venue. But they do a lot of this. They do too much of that. Yeah, that's what I just said. If they didn't want it moved, they should have kept their mouth shut to the beginning. Yeah. But I mean, I understand, like I said, I understand their frustrations with it, but I mean, all of the extra steps that are having to be taken is partially their fault. It is partially their fault for shizzle. Hey, I am going to show them. I'm going to show them that link you sent me at the end of this, because that's crazy, especially the timing. It was just hilarious. I mean, seriously. She's more suspect. The lady in the video you sent me is more suspect than Bryan. So just remind me if I forget, but I had it like written down somewhere to show everybody the video because that shit was funny. Thank you, Andy's girl. Yeah, it was hilarious. I'm going to show y'all something at the very end of this. Oh, you think that's what it is, Montana? I mean, he does have a really bad color to him, right? Yeah. All right, let's see if they say anything else.
Well, we'll know more at the end of this month when the change of venue is heard and is decided.
August 29th.
We plan on being there. We want to be there. There's about 10 of us in the family that intend on being there for most of it. Obviously, there's going to be days that we will not be there intentionally for, but we're hoping that it stays in Latah County. So, that's a 2-hour drive for us. The further counties that they're looking at would make it hard. So we would have to relook at things. But we want to be there.
Steve,
we intend to be there.
Yeah.
Steve, as you have been on this journey now, it seems like forever, I'm sure, for you.
Now, you would think that there would be some sort of dress code, right? Like no meme shirt. Like I wouldn't be able to walk in with my monkey shirt on. So you would think they wouldn't be able to walk in with shirts like that. Like you'd think there would be a dress code. I'm just saying. Insane.
Do you see any light at the end of the tunnel? Do you see that, hey, at some point, this page will turn?
I think of it as this is a living example of how we get things right again. Latah County did everything. The reason this is so slow and this process is taking so long is because they tried to do everything exactly by the book so that the community could see the justice, they could see it, and it wouldn't have to be taken, Idaho's a large state, it wouldn't have to be taken, 6-7 hours away. So
to see the justice, I mean, it's live streamed no matter where it is, right? So what's the issue?
I look at this as a living example of the way we correct things. When things go wrong, when things fall off the rails, like you said, you send your kids off to college, the last thing you should think of is anything other than your kid being a dumb kid and doing something embarrassing to get them on a camera or something that you're going to see at your employer the next day. That's like really bad. And for murder, for death, that's just not, that can't be new.
What did he say?
Is anything other than your kid being.
I'm trying to catch on to his point here.
Justice, they could see it and it wouldn't have to be taken, Idaho's a large state, it wouldn't have to be taken, 6-7 hours away. So I look at this as a living example of the way we correct things. When things go wrong, when things fall off the rails, like you said, you send your kids off to college, the last thing you should think of is anything other than your.
Y'all are all confused. What does he mean? That's weird. What does he mean? What is he saying? What? I don't know.
Your kid being a dumb kid and doing something embarrassing to get them on a camera or something that you're going to see at your employer the next day. That's like really bad. And for murder, for death, that's just not, that can't be new normal. That can't be something that we.
Is anybody comprehending what the shit he is trying to say? Talking in circles, word salad. That's what it sounds like, and I'm not trying to say that out loud. We're going to listen to... I'm sorry, but I'm trying to make some sense of this shit. Let's see what he's saying.
The community could see the justice, they could see it, and it wouldn't have to be taken, Idaho's a large state, it wouldn't have to be taken, 6-7 hours away. So I look at this as a living example of the way we correct things. When things go wrong, when things fall off the rails, like you said, you send your kids off to college. The last thing you should think of is anything other than your kid being a dumb kid and doing something embarrassing to get them on a camera or something that you're going to see at your employer the next day. That's like really bad. And for murder, for death, that's just not, that can't be new normal. That can't be something that we accept as a society. So I think we can be a living example for everyone, how we can course correct and figure this thing out and hold somebody accountable and, show that this is just a one-off that,
What in the hell? Okay. He's just saying, sending your kids off to college, you shouldn't have to be worried about them being murdered. I mean, yeah. It's normal to worry about them making dumb choices. This shouldn't be the new normal. I mean, that may be what he's trying to say, but geez. A video of your kids that were doing something embarrassing and get them on a camera and it's showing up at your workplace. WTF. Yeah, he's saying some weird shit. He's saying humiliation is expected, but not sending them finding out they are dead and society is desensitized. I mean, maybe that's what he's saying. I mean, I don't disagree with what y'all are saying here, but maybe there's something to the fact that he looks like he's not doing well. Because, his color is not great. And I am honestly sort of, confused about how he's, coming across with his statement. I'm going to have to listen to that again, off of this and try to understand how he got that string of words together the way that he did, because it's a little strange.
Won't happen, and it's nothing you know.
Kristi, are there moments where you can have happy memories? Are there moments where you can smile and think about Kaylee?
Oh, absolutely. You can't think about Kaylee and not smile, and we have so many happy memories and so many videos and so many pictures. And I look at them all the time. It's those late nights that get you, and you think of the tragedy that unfolded. And, it's terrorizing, it's traumatizing. But there are happy moments. There are.
Steve, if this gets the conclusion that we're all
Steve
hoping
don't look
for,
right.
which is the truth comes out and there's a conviction, are you prepared to make an impact statement?
Yeah, I just know my family. I know my kids. They're all strong. They're all intelligent, super smart. Every one of them has already wrote it out. They've already got set in stone. So yeah, we're willing to and just thank the community and thank all the people who've put their lives on pause so that we could have that moment, so we could have the justice, because it doesn't just happen by accident. And we've got people like Shanon in our life. It's amazing what we've been able to see, how people shown love to our family and reached out to us and flooded us with letters and different things. So yeah, I feel an obligation to all the people that have been with us this whole time. And that's why there's that sense of pressure.
He feels an obligation to the people that have been with them this whole time. Then why is he still out here talking to those people in the opposite than how he's talking to people behind the scenes? Because behind the scenes, he's telling people like a lawyer on YouTube that the state's having issues connecting things to Bryan, but then comes out here and doesn't tell the people that have been following the family, hey, we have questions, guys. Instead, they get everybody to hop on the whole death penalty and crazy crap that Kristi does. Yeah, that's how it feels, like an obligation for what? Bro, the people on Facebook treat these people like they're idols. The people on Facebook send them stuff from everywhere. That's why I made such a big deal about the way that they were treating Kara when she was coming out and asking questions about the situation. The exact same people that were basically coveting the Goncalveses, like straight up, were giving Kara a bunch of hypocritical bullshit. And I'm just like, okay, but y'all are over there like adding their names to the love fence over in France and shit, but Kara can't be like, hey, I have questions about how my daughter died. That's not how that works. Their Facebook's gross. It's very much like they just throw stuff at them. They send them gift cards and they send them money and they send them presents and custom made things, and it's just it's I don't really know how to feel about it because I know that it's like not just about Kaylee. Like the other families don't get anywhere near that type of stuff, especially Xana and Maddie's.
Sure that, you know, this has got to turn out a certain way, and we're looking forward to seeing that turn out.
And
this was a channel I enjoyed because they never seem to pick one side or the other. Things seems to have changed. Well, then you must not have been watching very much because nothing about my opinion of the Goncalveses or anything else has ever changed. Literally everyone that's been listening here this entire time have never like not heard this from me before. So you don't gotta be her. That's all I gotta say about that one.
Shanon, do you expect any problems with all the victims that want to speak being able to speak if and when we get to that part of this case?
Yeah, that was an odd occurrence that happened over in the.
Did you say all of the victims speaking? Did he just say all of the victims? Interesting statement.
Lori Vallow trial where the judge was pretty, I don't know, strict or adamant about following the statute when it came to who could speak and give victims impact statements. Most of the time, the immediate family and those things will be able to speak. The judge may put down, his foot when it comes to grandparents and other things that under the statute currently aren't maybe allowed. Unless they're serve as a representative for the family. But I'm hoping that the whole family's, anybody gets to speak what they want to. There's a reasoning to it, but I don't see there being any problems in this case. So
that's good to hear. Shanon, great. Thank you so much. Kristi and Steve Goncalves, our thoughts are with you, and that the nation's thoughts are with you, and our best to all of your family. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, that's it. Nothing too special. Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about in that one thing. I mean, I sort of get it, but I guess not really. I mean, it's all very kind of stupid. It was all really kind of like for nothing. I mean, I get that they're just coming up here and talking, which they have every right to, but I don't know. This is really kind of like all for nothing. So, yeah. Huh? Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because it's on subscribers only, and these like idiots get on here and subscribe and listen to me talk for 5 minutes about something that they apparently don't like just so they can write like a stupid ass comment and get blocked. I mean, if that's how you want to spend your Wednesday night, they're stupid. But yeah, that's it for that one. I need to get this off of here. Remove. And yeah. Yeah. I mean, they didn't really say much of anything. Who's paying for who what these days with, huh? I want to know who's paying who for what these days with them. I mean, Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was very disorganized because I couldn't really even understand what the shit Steve was trying to say. Like, why are you talking about something being caught on camera that shows up at your job, like that you watch at work or something like that, your coworker sees, or some weird crap like that? I just don't know. Oh yeah, I am. This is crazy. Now, I am in no way saying that this lady is responsible for anything. But she's a realtor from Moscow, Idaho, and this was sent to me by Angel, and it is just freaking hilarious. So let me pull it up because you're gonna see. Oh wait, no, that's not the one. Hold on, I gotta find it. Here it is. Yeah, this is hilarious, guys. The stuff in this lady's this lady's car. It's hilarious. All right, I'm gonna play it. Hold on. I gotta put the screen back over here. I don't know what I'm doing. Share this tab and add me back. Okay. Watch this, guys. Watch all the stuff in this lady's car. Ready? Knife, hand warmers, rain poncho, extra screws, face mask, single disposable gloves, shoe covers, zip ties, an extra pair of shoes, and a rubber mallet and paper towels. The signs aren't important. But she's on some crazy stuff. Talk about having a kill kit. She has all the stuff in her car. Yeah, she sent me that and I was like, bro, she's like getting ready. Thank you, Victorine. That's insane. It's absolutely crazy. It's like, oh my goodness. I mean, I carry some extra stuff in my car, but not like that. She had some inside of it too. She said, you said, oh yeah, that's my car. Yeah. I mean, honestly, me too. Because I ain't playing out her. But yeah. I thought it was funny. I was like, oh man, she wasn't kidding. And she's in Moscow, Idaho, realtors. Hey, Steven. Yeah, it's just crazy. I watched some of it, and I mean, I know they went sort of in depth, but some of it was kind of on my nerves. I left my opinions on their channel about it. I just think it's insane that we still have no answers from anything when it comes to Sebastian's case. It's absolutely so stupid. What color was her car? I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, they didn't really say much of anything special. But I mean, usually something's happening, right? Like normally whenever they come out, let me see. Because the change of venue paperwork was filed, dropped like some weeks ago. And normally they come out and they give like little interviews or whatever, like around. So I wonder if something's going to happen soon or if they're just like doing this in the middle because the documents were from a few weeks ago and change of venue is coming up in a few weeks. I mean, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like in the middle. I heard that the Mogens were working on with the James Patterson book. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Patterson decided not to work with him because he's messy as shit. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. I'll look into that because I forgot that the Mogens were apparently doing that too. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show y'all that real quick. I put a community post out yesterday because this 16th supplemental request for discovery was posted. Let's see. But that's all that this is. Please take notice that the undersigned, pursuant to Rule 16 of the Idaho Criminal Rules, the 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, and 14th Amendments to the Constitution of the United States, and constitutional provisions, including but not limited to the following information, evidence, materials outlined in Exhibit O, and as you can see, sealed. Nada. So we don't even know what the hell is attached to Exhibit O because everything is sealed like always. So we'll find out eventually. We have the hearing on the 29th. So in 22 days, 3-ish weeks. 3-ish weeks. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're sealing everything now. I mean, honestly, that's how I feel. And like, people can say whatever they want to. They've already told us in court that everything that they need to do anything is not there. Like, anything that could possibly put any sort of guilt on Bryan just doesn't exist. So they're going to pull something else out because that DNA don't mean anything. It just doesn't. But I am curious as to what they feel like after all this time they still are missing. So I don't know. I mean, you think Anne knows, right? I feel like Anne would have like an idea, like what's missing. That's why she keeps asking for stuff. Oh, well, welcome, Georgia Freckles. Oh, I like your little emoji thing. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Well, they filed something a while back, Bonnie M, that they basically said that like everything was going to be sealed at this point. Pretty much all of the exhibits were going to be sealed at this point. They are missing like a lot. And that's just what we know so far. And I mean, the lack of what they're supposed to have, okay? The lack of what they're supposed to have, on top of what we're now hearing from Cyree and Payne and Mowry in court, well, not now hearing, but, you know, what we have heard over the past, like, 2 months or whatever. This is why I wonder why there's not, like, a more balanced system, okay? Like, I wonder why a judge can just, like, sign off on something without having to validate that it's based on fact. Because that judge is, like, the one that makes it happen, right? If it doesn't get a signature from a judge, then the search warrant, the arrest, whatever it's for, it cannot be executed. It cannot happen. So why are they just allowed to sign arrest warrants and search warrants and all kind of things like that and not have to go in and, like, read what it actually says, have the evidence presented to them that they're using for this probable cause to prove that it's not hearsay? I don't understand. I just don't understand. The DNA was not thrown out. The DNA is not thrown out. The state said a super long time ago that they were going to end up filing a motion of limine to exclude the IgG, but that's what I don't understand. I don't understand how they can throw out the IgG whenever, if it wasn't for the IgG results, they would have never found their way to Bryan, which means they would have never been able to arrest him. And Don Daniels, for some reason, Don Daniels, not an officer over in Moscow or an ISP or a Fed, Don Daniels, the WSU officer, is the one who told the people for the search warrant, hey, I'm telling you all about this IgG and how they actually matched the DNA to Bryan Kohberger to the knife sheath and blah, blah, blah. But now I'm asking you to, like, completely just forget that I said anything. Just sign the warrant. knowing that you know about the DNA match, but you know, you got to just forget that I even said anything. It's not how it works. I mean, that's why I'm saying I don't understand. I don't understand why Anne isn't using the actual ammo that she has, because she has real things that she could be using right now to get the grand jury thing dismissed. There's a bunch of real things, and she's choosing stuff that's nitpicky nothingness with no substance to it, stuff that doesn't matter, stuff that doesn't hold anything. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Hi, Storm. But they did state that they were going to file a motion of limine to exclude the IgG, not the DNA itself. So the fact that the knife sheath had a single source DNA on it, and the fact that the buccal swab that they took of Bryan's cheek once they arrested him matched the single source DNA, apparently, is what they're going to end up being able to use in court. But they want to basically file the motion of limine to basically erase the middle story of how they got to that match, is how I'm understanding the motion of limine. Yeah. How can DNA match a snapshot work product? Yeah, they don't even have that, though. That's another issue that I have with it, is the fact that all the work product is gone. Like, they can't even attempt to double check it and make sure that it comes back the same. But then again, that's another thing, though, guys. Like, the defense hasn't once tried to argue that it's not Bryan's DNA. They're just questioning how it got there. So they're not saying that it's not his. They're just questioning how it got there. So I don't know. I find it insane that they're allowed to just do all this crazy stuff and not have to take any notes, not have to write anything down, not have to like be organized and specific. We don't. So whoever's saying that the IgG was incomplete would be telling a tale, because nobody knows that. We haven't seen it. The only person besides the defense and the state that has seen the IgG is John Judge. Yeah, buy the book. Buy the book, and you still have no connection between the victims and the alleged killer? Sure. Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like, how are you going to sit there again? This is the same man who literally just told a lawyer a few weeks ago or whatever that the state can't connect Bryan. Well, Bryan's attorney has now stood up in court and said, oh, there's no explanation. No explanation for the lack of evidence, which means no residues either. And no proof that he used some lab card to swipe out some crazy chemicals to clean his car out either. Whenever they say there's no explanation for, that means there's straight up no explanation. They can't say, oh, he did it, but then he used this to clean it up. No, there's no explanation other than the fact that it doesn't exist. The story doesn't exist. The narrative never happened. It's just crazy. But I guess that's it. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I just wanted to go over that interview to see if they said anything. They didn't really say much of anything besides the fact that they're not really paying much attention, and there's something wrong with Steve. His color is off, and he's like talking in circles. I'm hoping so too, but he can't fill in what's missing to a certain extent. Like, I think he can, if he's given like the proper access to be able to like go in and grab information. But the way that he's basically made it seem is the location specific and time specific information of the crime and the time that it occurred. That information, when it comes to like the cell data, GPS data, anything CyRay could be able to access to figure out who was actually there, like a geofencing type warrant, any of that information is basically just gone. And it's crazy because there was a case I was listening to earlier where this exact same situation was going on, and the guy was like, we can't implicate, the suspect, but we can't implicate anybody else either because the evidence is just gone. And I'm like, oh, so this happens all the time. It's just crazy. Absolutely insane. But yeah. I don't know how they didn't just dismiss it. I mean, at least go to the prelims and do it right? Just wild. Just wild. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. It's early. It's only 9:22, and that's actually good because I plan on trying to go to bed at 11. That's like actually hella early for me. But that's it, you guys. Y'all have a great night. I don't know if I'll go live tomorrow for anything. I do have a video that I'm going to do, which we'll probably post tomorrow. That's probably what I'll do. Instead of a live, I'll post a video. Probably around 6:15, 6:45. That's going to be probably like my posting time from now on. I really am trying to get on a better schedule, guys. I promise. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. All right. Y'all have a great night. Sleep well. Sweet dreams. Don't let the bed bugs bite. All of the things. See y'all. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already.